at the beach in Destin, Florida. We're going to do some special beach edition beer before breakfast episodes with some talented chefs down in the Gulf Coast area, starting with Chef Michael Guerra at the Pearl and Havana Beach in Rosemary Beach. Then we're going to go across the street, meet up with Nate Link over at Acme Ice House, also in Rosemary Beach. And then we're going to shoot over to Niceville, and we're going to meet up with Chef Dan Pettis over at 120, a modern bistro, and come back to Destin, where we're going to go fishing with Eddie Morgan and the boys at Harbor Docks in the 2014 Cobia World Championships. We're going to try to catch some fresh cobia and cook it there on the docks. So welcome to a special series of Beer Before Breakfast, Beach Edition, or Beach Series, or whatever.
This is Chef Michael Guerra coming to you from the Pearl Hotel and Havana Beach Restaurant. Today I will be cooking with Back 40 Beer Company, and we will be making Gulf Coast clams with Naked Pig Pale Ale. The Pearl in Havana Beach is a hotel and restaurant that's been open for about a year now. But we're focusing on the freshest of fresh seafood and farm-to-table vegetables. I spent the last 4 years in the mountains cooking at the Montage in Park City, and when the opportunity to come to the Gulf Coast came, I really embraced it. The seafood that we have here is second to none. First, the thing that we're going to be doing is getting our pan really hot, okay? And we're going to be melting some butter. About 2 tablespoons of butter, and we'll begin to melt that slowly. We're going to start adding our ingredients, our celery, fennel, shallots, leeks, and our garlic. What we want to do is sweat them. So it's a technique where we'll cook the vegetables slowly to make them fragrant, to let out their flavors, but not necessarily make them caramelized. Many years of cooking across the country in New York and in the West, everybody was using wines for cooking and for drinking and enjoying meals. But now, since the craft beer movement has come, we really have mimicked what wine does for food and made it an acceptable choice to actually drink in some of the nicer restaurants because of its craftness, because of its boutiqueness. And I really do enjoy cooking with beer. I enjoy drinking beer as well, but cooking with it to me gives it another depth. You know, this is something that can be served in the summer. It could be served in the fall, spring. It's really a nice dish for all seasons. It does well with company, with groups of people, because you can make a large batch of it, put it into a bowl, and let everybody serve themselves. And really great with a nice crusty bread to soak up the broth. Now that our vegetables have sweat just a little bit, we're going to add our bay leaf, a sprig of fresh thyme. I add them at this point because sauteing the bay leaf and the thyme with the vegetable allows for the flavors to release just a little bit more. Okay, so our vegetables are nice and sweat down. We're going to add just a tiny bit of our fresh clam juice, and this juice was made from fresh Florida clams, but if you're making this at home, please feel free to purchase it at a store. Just watch the salt content because it can get a little bit heavy. We just added our clam juice and we're just cooking it down just a bit and cooking our vegetables a little bit more. And then now it's time to add the beer, and just pop the tops. And the beer, because it's carbonated, it's going to buff up just a little bit. Just let it cook for a little while and it will come down. By letting the beer cook, you have more of the essence of the flavor of the beer and kind of takes away some of that bitterness. So we're going to let it cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. Really nice. So we've cooked our beer down for about 3 or 4 minutes. Now it's time to add our clam. Okay, so here is the Florida Little Neck. comes right here from Apalachicola, sourced locally. So clam being a bivalve, meaning that it opens like this, they could take a little while to cook because they start to pucker up. Really what you want to do when you add your clams is make sure that your broth is at a rolling boil. If you start them too cold, the clam will pucker up and take a little longer to open. The faster you get the clam open and the faster you serve it, the better the flavor of the clam will be. We added the clam juice, we added the beer. Now the clams are releasing their liquid into the broth, and we want to make sure that it's still seasoned properly. So I'll let them start opening and then we'll taste. Okay, you can see some of the clams are beginning to open. So I'll just stir them lightly. A clam is alive when you get it, alive when you cook it. If the clam is opened when you receive it, tap it. If it closes, the clam is alive. If it does not close, throw it away and do not eat it. It means that the clam is dead and no longer safe to eat. Really, really important. So just don't grab them and throw them in there. Really look at them and make sure. So here we are. Almost all of our clams are open. Really nice. And I'm gonna finish this dish with just a little bit more butter. And what the butter does is just add a little bit of viscosity to the sauce. When I mean viscosity, I mean thickness. It adds a little bit more body. As soon as our butter is completely melted, we'll start to plate the dish. So I'll begin to just arrange the clams in the dish. And you can see how nice the vegetables have cooked. The broth, the clams. And then I'm just going to pour the broth. A little bit of a mess here, but seafood should be fun to eat. Everybody should just gather around and grab a clam, grab an oyster, grab shrimp, and have fun.
That's fantastic.
Good, yeah, good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy you like it.
I'm on my way to Cuba. There's way right.